while I'm waiting for my for my latest video to upload, I'm just going to record this. I just found this is like what's it? The best every Game of Thrones episodes ranked. It says best Game of Thrones episodes ranked up here. So, but apparently this is every episode. But so if you have no, and I can see here you've got stuff from like season 8. That's Battle of the Bastards, Cersei's Walk of Atonement. I think that's season 5. Obviously, Red Wedding, the Blackwater there, and of course Hardhome. Oh boy, I'm basically now. If you don't know, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I really love the show. Well, AKA, I loved it from season 1 to 6 and hated season 7 and 8. Okay. Actually, I'll be precise. Season 1 to 4 is, in my opinion, the best TV show of all time. 5 and 6 is great, but there's cracks showing. And then season 7 and 8, why? So, I know that's quite a common opinion to have, but yeah, it's the truth. So, so I'm gonna be talking about, sort of these. So, the House of Black and White. Oh my god. Jesus. This is an early season 5 episode, and I think season 5 only started going downhill around the episode. Oh, what was it? It was the one with Unbound, Unbent, Unbroken. It was that one, and I think this one was really good. This one was pretty good. It was a good episode, but it wasn't a great episode, but it's definitely not the worst. In my opinion, the worst episode would have to be Last of the Starks, which I'll have to see what that is, because that one was, in my opinion, that was the episode that really broke me in Game of Thrones. Well, that one and it was the one in Beyond the Wall. Beyond the Wall as well was really awful. Like, I was the kind of guy who, at the time, I liked The Long Night for what it was as a battle. But the more I watched it, the more I was like, yeah, this is kind of shit. The fucking hell? Season 2 already? My, will Theon keep control of us? What? Jesus Christ! A season 2 episode at the second worst. I would have said season 2 at its worst would have been somewhere around the midpoint, not the second worst. With Breaker of Chains? This has arguably one of my favourite scenes with the with Tyrion counselling Joffrey. It comes directly after the fucking. This was actually one of the better episodes. I would say this was a mid-tier episode. Oathkeeper was awesome. You get to watch. Was it? Oh, fucking hell! How the hell? What? Misa? This one at number 69? What? Now look, I'm not the biggest fan of season 3, but come on. How the hell is the finale of season 3 worse than the entirety of season 7 and 8? How? A Man Without... Oh my god. This is the one... This is the episode... this is a really good episode. You see how desperate Jaime gets at times. And again, it says here, the introduction of Ygritte. My god. The Broken Man. Okay, this one... Okay, I can understand why this one isn't as high as it should be. This one, I wouldn't say top 10 worst. It would probably be in the top 20 worst. But it's at least an improve. I would say this is the only one out of all of these episodes. This is the only one which I can kind of say, yeah, it's kind of, oh, it's a fucking train. Yeah, bad news about living where I am. There's a train every 5 seconds. But yeah, the Broken Man, I can kind of see this one being in the bottom 10, but I still think it's really good. It's got some really good scenes, especially with the Hound, Ian McShane. I really like Ian McShane's character in this one, but yeah, and I did like the Brotherhood scene. So yeah. Book of the Stranger. Oh, Book of the Stranger. I don't see this. This one was really good. This episode, I think, was really good. In my opinion, I think this was again another mid-tier episode. It was definitely one of the better ones of season 6. I mean, Jon and Sansa's reunion was great. Yana and Theon's reunion was great. It was because here's the thing: they were tense. They were tense moment. Well, the Theon one was tense. Same with the Marjorie and Lois one, and the Jon and Sansa one was really good. Even though Jon and Sansa were not that close, it was still pretty good. Also, Ramsay. I mean, Osha's death scene was kind of unneeded, and I think it would have been much better if they had if Osha had stayed around an episode or two longer. But Ramsay, it's an episode with Ramsay in it, for fuck's sake, so it's immediately a good episode if it's got Ramsay in it. Eastwatch, okay. I think Eastwatch this is probably where I would put Eastwatch, maybe a little bit higher in my list. So, a little bit further to the bottom, because I don't really like Eastwatch at all. It's literally just... Eastwatch didn't do anything wrong, per se. It's just more of... The thing is, I would say The Dragon and the Wolf and... So the two episodes that followed it was Beyond the Wall, Dragon and the Wolf are worse than Eastwatch. And I'd say this thing, that most of Season 8 is worse than Eastwatch. Oh my god, Valaduhalis at number... Valaduhalis at number 64. No. Like, this one was really good. This one was a really good episode. What the hell? I'd say this might be even top 30. But then again, it's a season 3 episode, so... Season 3 episodes are almost guaranteed top 30. Oathbreaker. I think Oathbreaker was one of the better episodes. It had that really cool fight with Sir Arthur Dayne. It was one of the better season 6 episodes, but that's not saying much. And I will say that the execution at the end was really good. I think, wasn't this the episode where they start besieging Riverrun as well? I can't remember. The Wars to Come. This one... This one wasn't too bad. And... I think it was about... It's a season... I'd say it's probably a mid-tier, but it's definitely not... There's not been a single Season 8 episode here. Or Season 1 or... There's not been a single Season 1 or Season 8 episode. I'm bent, bro. Okay, I'm just going to say it. At the moment, Unbound, Unbent, Unbroken is probably the worst episode here. Out of all the ones that have came, the only one that comes close is maybe Eastwatch, but Unbound, Unbent, Unbroken is definitely the worst one so far. Like, it was just so unneeded. Like... Alaria Sand, she just... The whole fighting... the fighting thing was kind of a bit shit. The whole sand snake thing, that was really shit. I think the main thing that most people hate is of course the rape scene, obviously with Sansa. But I think the thing is that all of them, it kind of makes sense. And I will say the duel between Jaime, Bronn, and the Sand Snakes are, it says here, the worst fight scene in the series. Yes. Agreed. Okay, we've agreed on one thing, but Unbound, Unbent, Unbroken should be a lot higher than it is. The Red Woman, oh Jesus Christ, do I even need to watch this? This one, mid-tier again, and I think, yeah, I think it's a mid-tier episode, but yeah. Oh my god, they have a season 1 episode before a season 8 episode. Are they fucking high? The Nightlands, that was the one where they got to Calf, if I remember correctly. It introduced Yana. Yeah, this one would be a lot higher in my list. This would be about, probably top 40. Lord Snow would definitely be top 30. I really love Lord Snow. Look at how many characters get added. Littlefinger, Sebastian Stelmy, Varys, Pycelle, Lancel, Syrio Farrell, Mormont, Aemond, Thorne, your Pip, and Gwen. Those are really good characters. I can see the Bear and the Maiden Fair. Oh. What? The Bear and the Maiden Fair is, I would say, a top 20 episode. They put this thing below the entirety of season 8. Oh my god. Dark Wings, Dark Words. Oh my god. Where the fuck is season 8? I would say this would probably be where the only good episode in season 8 was the second episode, whatever the hell that one was. I can't remember what it was called now, but it was the one before the battle. That one was the only good episode. The Gift, oh god. This is the one where Tyrion meets Daenerys. It was kind of and this is where Cersei gets arrested. I would say this one would probably be a little bit higher for me, but I cannot. Oh, this list is so. But are they hot? How much drugs are they on? Garden of Bones. One of the show's creepiest episodes. This mid-season outing begins Dany's worst storyline, her misadventures in Calf. I wouldn't say it was her worst storyline. I think Marine was much worse than Calf. Marine was actually boring to watch. It starts out strong with a noble to a butcher city. Back in Westeros, and Heron goes. Oh yeah. Again, I would say Garden of Bones. I would say that one is again a lot higher than it should be on this list. Queen's Justice is, in my opinion, the best episode of season 7 because of one scene, and that is Olenna's death scene. Olenna, and also the death scene of Ilario. Ilario and Olenna's death scene are actually both incredibly good. And I think those two scenes carry the episode. I would say it probably would be around here. Around 53. Maybe a little bit lower. Probably around maybe even the low 60s. But I would say this was definitely the best episode. The King's Road. The King's Road and oh my god, that's 2 season 1 episodes. What drugs were they on when they recorded it? When they made this? The pointy end. This is so intense. It's your first introduction of the Whites, as you can see here. First introduction of the Whites. Rob Rally in the North. I think, well, none of these forces will be able to stop what's coming for Ned. That's the point of the episode, you prick. It's like, that's the point of Game of Thrones. It's just like being a hero will not save you in the long run. It's really good, because it builds on you win and you die. If you win and you die, it's not high. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Sons of the Harpy. Above. Fucking. Oh, I would say Sons of the Harpy was more of a forgettable season 5 episode, but put it above the pointy end. The King's Road. There was a few other ones which I would say on here, like The Bear and the Maiden Fair, especially. What the fuck is this list? Valar Morghulis. Oh my god. This one's a really good finale in my opinion. This is one of the better finales. The whole magic part is really good. Valar Morghulis was a really good episode. I would say this one might even be top 20, top 25, but not bottom. Not closer to the bottom than it is to the top. Hold on, I've just got to make sure. Is there, there's 60, they are including season 8 here. They are including season 8. They've just put, you win or you die. In my opinion, a top 10 episode before the entirety of season 8. How much drugs was the writer on this on? You win or you die has arguably one of the most iconic lines in the series. It has one of the most iconic moments in the series. Literally, Littlefinger holding his knife to Ned's neck. That shit's still mentioned in season 7. The events of You Win and You Die carry out until the end of the show. It's one of the most important episodes of the show. And it's in the bottom half. The Lords have got... I'm done. This has actually fucking broken me. This has, in my opinion, the best scene in Game of Thrones. Tyrion's trial, when Shay betrays him, he starts crying on the stand, and he goes, "Father, I want to confess." And then he literally just rips into everyone. It is my favourite moment, Tyrion moment. It's one of my favourite episodes. You've got Tyrion, my favourite character, literally just ripping shit up. Tyrion's at his best. Jaime's at his best. And the ending, where he goes, "I demand a tribal combat." When I first watched that, I actually had goosebumps. How the fuck, then, is it only at number 47? The Laws of God and Men is a top 5 episode, okay? I would say that one is up there with... It's nearly top 5 episode. I'd say maybe top 6. It would be my 6th one. 6th best episode behind... Behind Fire and Blood... No, Kissed by Fire, whatever it was. The one with Jaime in the bathtub. That one was a great episode. Baelor, Fire and Blood, Reigns of Castamere, Blackwater's up there as well. So is Watchers on the Walls, which is my favourite episode, by the way. The North Remembers. Fuck my life. To be honest, I have no faith in this anymore. So I'm just gonna scroll down until I see a season 8 episode. Kill the Boy. No. I mean, yeah, I can get this. This one I would say should be a lot higher than it is, especially. It's just boring. I just think Kill the Boy is boring. Blood of My Blood. I don't really see this. This one has a really had that. I think the Horn Hill scenes were pretty good. The High Sept scene was pretty good. I like Walder Frey. Benjen's reveal was pretty decent. But yeah. I think this one would probably actually, this is probably the only episode so far which I say yeah I agree with its placement. It's a better season 6 episode, but maybe a little bit higher, but I don't know. The Climb, yeah, I agree with that one. The Climb, yeah, I think that, yeah, The Climb would be probably up there as one of the better episodes. First of His Name, oh boy. This one was pretty good as well. You know, kills the mutineers off. No One, I don't really see this one as, oh my god, I've just found the first season 8 episode. The first season 8 episode is at number 40. All of season 8, according to this, is in the top 40. I wouldn't even say all of season 8 was in the top 20. I wouldn't even say all of season 8 was in the top 70. The Ghost of Harrenhal at number... The Ghost of Harrenhal at... oh my god. The Wolf and the Lion... Walk of Punishment. Like, some of these are just so good at... oh, actually really good episodes. Second Sons. What? Stormborn and... oh my god. Stormborn was so bad, and I just saw Last of the Starks. Stormborn was a really bad episode in my opinion. Like, it just did. I think Stormborn is a top 10 worst episode. It was not that good. Religious sex is the most psychologically complex. What? I don't even know. Like, I don't pay attention to Game of Thrones for that part. Last of the Starks. Game of Thrones is a traditional episode before, often several per season. Particularly, whatever, yada yada yada. This one just... this is my least favourite episode in the show, and they put it at 34. Ahead of, in my opinion, potential top 5 episodes. Like... this episode is a fucking mess. Like, and I'm not just talking about the fucking Starbucks cup. The first part is actually pretty good. The first part, I would say, is really good. But after the fucking... just literally after that, the dining... after the feast, it goes from good to literally jumping off the fucking train terrible. It's like literally watching a fucking... it's literally like watching a train crash in motion. It's like... it's so awful. It's an awful episode. Like, it's so contrived. Like I remember watching that whole thing. I was like, but Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet, or what the fuck it was, whatever the fuck he said. This is one of the worst episodes. This is the worst episode in the show. And the fact that they only put this as the second worst season 8 episode really shows. And the thing is, they still got the bells, whatever. They still got the Iron Throne. They still got the Long Night to go. There's still 3 episodes I would say are in the top. They still have the top, they've still got 5 episodes in the top. They still got pretty much 4 of the 5 episodes, which I would say is in the top 5 for the worst. Here, that means I would say at least one top 5, in my opinion, top 5 worst episode got into the top 30. 2 top 5 episodes got into the top. Home. This episode best remembered for a single shot, although a few seconds. Yada yada yada. Tyrion, rendezvous. Oh, I don't like that. I didn't like that scene. Ramsay murdering his father. That was a good scene. It was a bit more contrived, but I can just see winter is coming. I think there were some good moments in between. Euron's introduction was really good. I think the Euron's introduction was actually really fucking good. It was the only good scene with Euron in it. Like the rest, every other Euron scene just made me want to off myself because he was awful compared to the book. Winter is coming. No, Winter is coming. I'd say maybe is an outside the top 30 episode. Yeah, but not compared to some of the shit that they've put on this list. Oh my god, like Mockingbird. I don't know which one was this one. Oh, this was the one which. This was the one that killed Haron. That was pretty good. I think this one was all right. I think this one was all right. I guess it was. I'd say it's probably about up to here, but yeah. High Sparrow. The Lion and the Rose. The Lion and the Rose is a top 10 episode, in my opinion, and that's just because of the purple wedding scene. I mean, High Sparrow, I haven't even said anything. Like, I mean, yeah, it's the one that kills off. It kills off Janos, but yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. This. I swear to God, if any of the episodes which I think are in the top 10, I will actually hit something. The Lion in the Rose not being in the top 10 is a crime. Like, it's so... The Purple Wedding is one of the best scenes, in my opinion, of Game of Thrones. Not just because Joffrey's killed, which, by the way, Joffrey... I would honestly take Joffrey over some of the later villains. Not just because Joffrey's killed, but it's also because there's so many great moments in it. And now his watch has ended. This one was... Oh, this one was really funny. Ramsay, when Ramsay pranked me on that, I was laughing my head off. That was the episode that made me fall in love with Ramsay. Yeah, I mean, it has the Jacalis moment. I think this one would be a top 20 episode, but... I mean, this was the first episode, I think, where Dany actually felt like an actual really good character in Game of Thrones. But, yeah. Let's just keep going. The Dance of Dragons. I think this one's only really known because of the Shireen kill. This was the one which burned Shireen. I don't really see this one as a top 30 episode. Top 40, yeah. Top 30, no. Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things. Top 25 is fucking Dragonstone. Like, Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things, in my opinion, was a really good episode. Like, I would say maybe top 20, maybe around here, yeah, but there's episodes I know for a fact are much worse than this, like Dragonstone. Dragonstone is really bad, beyond the wall, in the top 20. Well, in the top 30, actually. Beyond the Wall, in my opinion, is the third worst episode. like, I would argue this episode was worse than the Iron Throne. The Iron Throne is the fourth, by the way. And the Long Night is number 5. It literally, for me, it goes Last of the Starks, The Bells, Beyond the Wall, Iron Throne, and The Long Night. And to be honest, I could put them in any order. And they've just put Beyond the Wall in the top 20. Oh my god, the children. The children the children behind the Iron Throne, The Long Night. And some other really... The Dragon and the Wolf. My god. My god. Are you fucking kidding me? I would have thought the Mountain and the Viper would have been top 10. Like, the Mountain and the Viper is literally only remembered for one scene. And it was a really good... What the fuck? And I thought I actually thought that this list could not go any lower. The Watchers on the Wall. My all-time favourite episode of Game of Thrones. In my opinion, the best episode of Game of Thrones. The Watchers on the Wall at number 21. Behind The Dragon and the Wolf. Behind, such classic episodes like The Dragon and the Wolf, often considered to be one of the worst finales episodes of the show. Behind The Iron Throne, which is probably the lowest received episode in the show's history. Also behind stuff like The Long Night, an episode which many people openly complained about it because they couldn't fucking see anything. Or A Night in the Seven Kingdoms, which is a good episode, don't get me wrong, but it's not a top 20 episode. The Old Gods and the New. Oh, which one was this? Oh, this one was the one with this was the one with the riots. This one was a really good episode. I would say, yeah, top 20, probably about here, but given what comes after it, which I know, the same with Golden Crown. Why is he so low? Like, oh my god. What is Dead May Never Die. I'm pretty sure we've had the entirety of season 2, other than Blackwater. I swear to God, if they put The Long Night, The Iron Throne, or The Bells ahead of Blackwater, or Reigns of Castamere, or Kissed by Fire. The Dragon and the Wolf has finally been revealed. Although, to be honest, it should be up here. This episode is crap. Nothing here. Fire and Blood is number 16. Fire and Blood, in my opinion, is the best season finale. They said it was worse than the Iron Throne. Two Swords. Really? Two Swords at number 15? I mean, yeah, I would say this one is a lot higher than it should be. But given this list, it's the Door. Oh my god. The Door is great when you first watch it, but when you rewatch it, it gets worse and worse. The problem with The Door is that it's just constant, like, yeah, the Hodor moment was amazing when you first watched it. It's so sad, but other than that, other than that, it's just a meh episode. It should be around the top 50, maybe top 60, but not the top 15. I forgot about this episode, and then I saw it, and I saw it was top 13, The Spoils of War. This is the Loot Train episode, isn't it? Oh, this episode was awful. Yeah, this is the Loot Train. Mother's Mercy. I'll say Mother's Mercy was maybe a top 20 episode, maybe a top 30, but not top 15. But to be honest, I would take Mother's Mercy over some of the stuff which haven't came yet. The Long Night, according to this list, The Long Night, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and The Bells are top 10 Game of Thrones episodes. If you've never seen Game of Thrones, do not take this list's advice. From an actual fan of Game of Thrones, do not take this fucking list's advice. The Iron Throne is the worst finale episode. And they've put this above Mother's Mercy. They put it above, where was it? Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood is a top 5 episode. The Iron Throne is a top 5 worst. The Winds of Winter. At least it's not number 1. That's all I have to say. The Winds of Winter, the problem with this is it has a phenomenal ending. It has a phenomenal opening scene, right? Not an ending, a phenomenal opening scene. You've got arguably honestly one of the greatest scenes in Game of Thrones. Everything from the start of the episode to when Tommen commits suicide by literally giving King's Landing its name. Everything from then on, everything in between those two scenes, and even of course Tommen's suicide, which is one of the best. I think that is the last great Game of Thrones death, Tommen's death. Okay, and I will say that Tommen Baratheon's death was the last great Game of Thrones death. Because he believed that everyone... I'm pretty sure he died believing that everyone that he knew was dead. I'm pretty sure he believed his wife to be dead. He's dead. He believed his mother to be dead. He believed everyone he believed his all of his family was dead. So he just jumps out of a window. And I think that was a great and I think that was a great scene. It's honestly the last true Game of Thrones scene. But the problem is that the after that it just sucks. The episode just sucks. It's a top 40 episode, but it is not a top 10. The worst battle episode got to number 9. I'd rather have watched the battle episode in season 1 than watched this. Seriously. The Long Night sucks. Okay, it is an awful episode and it just sucks. It's, I would say, a top 5 worst. It should not be here. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Okay, let me just read this. The literally years in the making of Stormborn to film by extension all life. Expected deaths, which is the kind of mood the show has trained its audience to scream plot armor at the top of their lungs. It's about. But literally, you're having But I think the thing is with this is you have characters like Sam, who is a really weak fighter. He's being dogpiled by whites. And he doesn't come off with a scratch. If he showed Sam losing like an arm or something, or him losing an eye or something, then maybe it would have been more like that was a close shave from Sam. It would have been a little bit more different, but I think the problem is that all of the major heroes leave the battle completely intact. Whereas the only real, the only main character who die, the only two main characters who die in the episode are, what's his name? It was Sajora and Theon. Yeah, Theon's death was pretty good. Like, it's I think it was really, I think having Bran say that he was a good man was arguably the best part of the episode. Theon's death was the best part of the episode. But the pros just don't outweigh the cons here. Well, you can't see the pros because the thing is so fucking dark. Generally, the episode sucks. The action sucks. Everything just sucks about the episode. And then you have The Night in the Seven Kingdoms, which is the best episode of Season 2. Oh, not Season 2, or Season 8. It's the best episode of Season 8. But, no. Nowhere near a top 10 episode. Baelor in... The Bells still hasn't made an appearance, by the way. I want to point that out. I can understand Baelor being around the top 10. What I don't understand is that the Bells hasn't made its appearance yet. Hardhome, the same with the Winds of Winter. It kind of gets all the love for its ending. The ending is great. I love the ending of Hardhome. It's one of the best endings of any Game of Thrones episode. However, I will have to admit that Hardhome is not a top 10 episode. It's a top 20, yes. Just the ending carries it to a top 20, but other than the ending, what happens in the episode? Exactly. Nothing. Kissed by Fire being worse than the Bells. You're joking. Okay, I'm just looking through all of these, right? Battle of the Bastards and the Bells being better than the Reigns of Castamere, Kissed by Fire, and everything else. The Bells being the best Game of Thrones episode. Okay, let's start right here. Kissed by Fire is probably what I would put here, okay? But there's one thing I wouldn't put above it. It's fucking Reigns of Castamere. Like, Reigns of Castamere, yeah, I love this episode. This episode is a top 2. This episode's top 2, top 3. Blackwater, I'd say, is number 2. But Battle of the Bastards in the top 3. Now, don't get me wrong. It's probably in terms of battles. How the fuck did the guy who directed Baelor also direct Beyond the Wall? How the fuck did he manage that? But in terms of battle, it's the best. Okay, I'd say Battle of the Bastards was the best battle, but it wasn't the best battle episode. I would say that most of the other battle episodes are better than it. I'd say it's probably about in the high 50s. Because while the battle is great, and while Ramsay is an amazing character, everything feels contrived, and everything pre-battle is bad. Blackwater number 2, but number 1, the Bells. How long do I have to look as long as it played? The man behind Hardhome about the Bastards and Long Night. Succeeded Neil Marshall as the Master of War. Yeah, I would say that if Neil Marshall, hold on, I'm just going to Google this. Which episodes did Neil Marshall direct? Essentially just... Which episode did he direct? Blackwater and Watchers on the Walls. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, generally... Hold on. Let's just... Wait, where is it? Here this one, yep. There you go. Can you add? Can you add this to the actual thing? To the actual list, please. Yeah. Oh, unbelievable. Oh. And there's even a fucking Game of Thrones battles ranked. I bet you any money the Bells would be #1 on that one. Let's just look at this. Zip through it. Battle of the Whispering Wood, Baylor, but Greyjoy, Naval Battle, Stormborn. Daenerys and Dragon vs. the Slavers. Okay. Daenerys Guards. At the moment, yeah. At the moment, I would say this one actually would probably be a little bit. Would actually be higher. Wildling versus nope. #1. Loot Train Attack. Actually, I would probably have that a lot higher as well. Battle of Winterfell, probably the top. Blackwater at #4. You fucking kidding me? Hardhome. Battle of the Bastards. And then, of course, Fall of King's Landing. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, fuck off whoever wrote this list. You suck. You have... This war crime was a long... Well, I'm guessing you think... that this episode, this whole list is a war crime. I'm glad you think that. It's... Honestly, this list is a war crime. So... The Bells is, in my opinion, one of the worst episodes. I've heard people say it's the worst. It's probably second to me, behind some of these stuff. Like, first off, I'm just gonna say immediately it got off to a pretty bad start, having Prince of Winterfell, Breaker of Chains, Oathkeeper, Mysa, A Man Without Honor, and fucking where is it? Where's the episode? It was like. Here, the Bear and the Maiden's Fair, really low. Bear and the Maiden's Fair is much better than... But yeah. What the fuck is this shit? Yeah. Awful list, and I'm probably going to have to burn this thing out of my mind now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyways... I'm just going to end this video here. Like, what the hell kind of drugs were these guys on? That's what I want to know. Like, what kind of drugs were these guys on?